Hey, what's up, everybody? Monkey Puzzle here. Have a little bread on me. And I have another building showcase for you. We have spent another 7 days in an expedition, me and a total of 8 people this time. And this is the Waterfall Expedition, Expedition Riverlands. It's got 2 names. And this time, for the first time, I went for a massive concrete and glass base, which I'm pretty happy with. It was pretty expensive. I'm going to show you the whole thing in just a second. But first, I'm going to show you the starter base that we began with, and then we'll come back here and do the full tour. And just while I'm standing up here, the mission for this one was pretty simple. All we had to do was ramp up over this little ridge right here and then place a beacon on the other side. So, very trivial mission, but at the same time, it gave us a lot of time and materials in order to do this. The beacon that we had to place over there is now right there on top of the place, and it gives us a little permanent beacon here. So that's what those are. Those are actually a craftable object in-game. But let me work my way down to the starter area where the pods dropped, and then I will give you... Whoa! Okay, I didn't... Oh, I'm going to heal my leg. You have to be really careful not to hit this little rock right here. I'm going to heal my leg, and then I'll meet you down there. Yeah. Okay, got a splint on it, which is reducing the healing time and also is giving me a little buff to counteract the nerf. But while I was doing this, I wanted to show you that another one of the new things that we did this time is made a compound bow. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Hadn't made it to that before. So that had been a goal of mine, and this thing rocks. It really does. It does a lot of damage. It basically doubles the damage of whatever arrow you use. And I'll wait till I see something here. And here we go. Here is a cougar. Oh, there's a cougar right there. And you can see it did 488 damage, 505 damage in the face. I'm not as adept at doing it in third person, but we got it done. I just took a little bite there. But I'm not dead yet. Anyway, it's a really good bow, and I'm psyched to have made it. Looks cool, too. Anyway, between this and the hunting rifle, I've got a pretty good chance of making it down there safely. So I'll meet you at the starter area. I am also using another new thing, which is the pickled carrots. You can see I've got the buff for that down on my bar. And those give you 20% more on your damage that you do with projectiles. Elephant doesn't like it when I kill things. I'm sorry, Elephant. I guess he's stuck here. Now the bow... still takes a long time. I guess their crit point is a little bit lower. Not up here, but there. All right, I made it down here. That was a crazy amount of predators. I did a little montage for you, but I got a level out of it, so that was pretty cool. And the compound bow kept me safe the whole way. Got my eye on that guy. But this mission spawns you in this bit of desert that's way up in the northeast of the map. So I hadn't really seen this whole bit, but yeah, it puts you down right here. My pod was here. The pods were all scattered throughout here. And this was just the starter base that is plugged into the entrance of a really long cave. This cave goes all the way through to the other side here. So it's a really good amount of starter mats. That's pretty awesome. But Cube built this one, Cuberil, and he was experimenting with combining a bunch of different materials and what would last in what positions. And some of the wood got blasted out of the front. Even though it has a stone roof on top of it, the wood did not hold up. And you can also see that there's some damage happening to the back of it. And if you go just by the light of the cave, right about here, it gets dark. And then it goes light right here. So I think technically this wall is actually outside of the cave and not sheltered by it. So that's just a little lesson learned, that even though something may look sheltered, it's not necessarily so. But anyway, this thing is 3 levels high and was well positioned for us to get a whole bunch of resources, a bunch of metals from the cave before we move to the permanent place. Permanent if 7 days is permanent. And he's plugged it up with some stone now. But and this place did half burn down once as well. But we had a first level for crafting and such, and then another level. I think down below actually was storage, and then this one was crafting, and then up here was sleeping. So this would have been more than enough to get us through the whole mission. But of course, we had to do more because that is our style. So anyway, I just wanted to show Cube's building real quick and also the lessons learned from that. And then I'm going to head back now to the glass concrete one and show you the rest of that. I think it's a really good look to it. I like the different levels to it. And when it was complete, it had at least 3 different surfaces from the front here. So had a lot of variety and was definitely not just a square box, and was safe because it was up above and not right on the ground level where predators could attack it. Anyway, I'm going to head back to the other place, and just for reference, it is all the way up there just before the Riverlands. See you there. One last thing about this bow is I think it has way less drop and the arrows fly way faster than the other bows I've used. Okay, we're back here again, and I almost gained another level on the way back. So, yeah, definitely putting that compound bow to good use, even though we're pretty much near the end of this mission. It was 7 days, and we got 16 hours left. But let me show you real quick what I did. So, again, we used concrete and glass really extensively for the first time. And I started just by spanning this canyon right here with these 2 beams. This one goes all the way across right there, and then this one goes all the way across right there. And that was enough basically to span boxes all the way across this. We put about 4 or 5 boxes in a row, and that was our initial starter base here. Eventually, as it expanded, while we're down here looking at the supports, I had to add these diagonals, which then added more structure points, more integrity to the structure to allow me to build the whole thing and to have these top pieces over here not crumble. And those were where the weaknesses were showing up before I put those diagonals right there. So my main takeaway before we even do the full tour of using concrete is that it really expands the distance that you can bridge with the building parts. You can go furthest and highest than you can with any of the other parts. The concrete also is completely impervious to the weather. It's not completely impervious to animals. Down here, it was an active bear spawn, still is an active bear spawn. And so we had numerous trials and tribulations and things down here, so many bear fights. I put these doors here basically to provide initial stopgap to the bears, and they were able to chew on them. It took them a while. They never broke all the way through, but concrete is not impervious to animals. Anyway, we have our nice little stairs up here, and then coming in, All of the base is pretty much contained in this area right here. We've got some initial storage coming in. It's a little hard to grab the door right here around this, but so much leather and fur and everything. Once again, the bones we mostly used up for epoxy and for bone arrows. We never really moved up above bone arrows. We don't really need to, even with the composite bow. And then, of course, Gideon Bunch goes first. And so on the right here, we have all of the basic crafting stuff. We made it extensively into tier 4 this time. And Cube actually he's done the payday extraction mission before. So he was able to make the radar and the drill. And with that, we found, let's see if this populates. All right, the marks are gone now, but he had a series of marks from the radar. And we found some exotics over there. So people have already blasted off with them. But we got, I forget exactly, but it was like 150 of exotics that we were able to extract just extra on this mission because he's actually done the one after this. We're going to do that one next. But yeah, so that was a tier 4 thing. We also made the refrigerator, and we needed space for the generator to do that. And we also had to make the electric furnace and the material processor in order to do the radar and stuff. And those are also what allowed me to make the composites for the compound bow. So then I had to expand and make a little basement. Now, someone asked a very good question. Is it a basement when it's 100 feet in the air? I don't know. The undercarriage maybe or something, the belly of the base. So down here we have 2 biofuel generators, one for the fridge, one for the electric furnace. We've got the cement mixer, and then our concrete furnace moved downstairs and allowed for some backup smelting. In addition to the electric furnace, which then became the primary furnace. Learned the heavy trapdoor for that. So now I know all the concrete parts. And yeah, we made this whole glass front and sides to it, which I thought was pretty cool. I think it looks really good. The glass, I still wish it was a little bit more clear. But, oh, there's that bear I was talking about. But it was a nice effect. I had to overhang it by one building piece because when the overhang was right here, this took damage from the storms, and we had to stand here with hammers in the storm. When I extended out one piece, these now don't take storm damage. So the glass is actually pretty weak. Let's see, if I pull up my repair hammer, we can see that it has 500 durability, and it is not resistant to storms at all. So it had to be protected within this cocoon of the concrete here. But yeah, we have these balconies on both sides, and we've got this concrete railing, which is actually my favorite of the railings so far. This, of course, is just aesthetic, but I thought it was neat and just made the base feel a little bigger and have a better view, even if it kind of constricted the inside a little bit more. So yeah, you can see it's just mirrored on this side. The only difference over here is we've got the chimney, which had to go somewhere. So it's in there a little off center on this side. And then you can go out here and up here and get up onto this other cliff face. We never really bridged all the way up there. And then from here also you can get up on top of the building. There's the beacon that was from the mission. And yeah, we've got crops over there. A big old flat area here. The texture is not too impressive on this. Occasionally animals spawn over there. We had to put the water over here because this is actually Riverlands biome right here. And then if you come over here, this is Desert Canyon. So we had to put it out where it actually rains. I can put a little clip here of me going back and forth between the 2 biomes. And you can see how the weather changes and gets announced each time you go back and forth. Anyway, let me see. Almost at the end of the tour here. There's a half piece overhang over the glass right here that helps keep that intact. And then continuing with all the crafting stations, we have this side is basically kitchen, all the basic crafting stuff. We do have I was going to say pie. There it is, pie. Once again, we've made it to all the basic foods that you can make. This time we didn't have corn and we didn't have mushrooms. Nobody has mushrooms. But we made it up to the pie, pumpkin bread, fish curry, and like I mentioned before, pickled carrots. So we were eating well, had way too much meat for the most part. Just had to go grab a little wood because it will not do for the fireplace to not be on for the tour. Once again, we made 3 ice boxes, but that was not enough, and so that's where we expanded to the fridge. The fridge has twice the storage of 1 ice box. And I don't know, I think I figured out before that the preservation is the same, but I don't know that. And then over here, we've got the glass station, which allowed for a lot of this. And then the final little bit is up here. We've got a loft that also has nice windows. That was enough, perfect size really, to fit 8 sleeping bags, although we never had 8 people on at the same time. So only 7 sleeping bags made it up here. Occasionally people would get the ladder glitch and they couldn't get up there, and that kind of sucks, so we had to throw sleeping bags down here occasionally when people couldn't make it up the ladders. And the last bit, which I actually should have mentioned first, is we've got a nice central storage area, glitch sniffer put in here, that catalogs everything. And we went for the hardcore cabinets go sideways cataloging system this time because we just had that much need for it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. We came a long ways with this. This was definitely facilitated by having 8 people in the prospect, because this was expensive. It uses tremendous amounts of silica and tremendous amounts of steel. The silica we needed for the concrete part of it, and then the steel was rebar and screws for every piece of this. So we went through a lot of iron nodes to make this, and people went all over the map also looking for silica. You can see we pretty much got the whole desert opened up, and we went as far into the Riverlands as the map allowed. After this, you were out of bounds. I think that's all I've got to show you for today. Just trying to document each one of these builds because we don't get to keep it. Tomorrow we're going to log on and then rocket out of here and go to the next one, which is going to be the payday extraction. So I have no idea what we're going to build for that one. But yeah, just trying to document each one of these builds and include the interesting things we learned each time, so that even if we leave them behind, they are recorded for posterity. Yeah, just kind of zooming around here as best I can, give you guys a little view of it. So that's it. That is the Waterfall Expedition concrete and glass base build, product of the hard labor of 8 people. So I hope this was interesting to you guys. So that's it. Thank you for watching until the end of this one, and I will see you either in the next showcase if you're just watching the summarized bits, or I totally welcome you all if you want to join us in the extensive streams in between where we do all the things that lead to this. Anyway, we got a sandstorm coming. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.